Okay, students. So today we are going to discuss about optical activity. Okay. Still noise is coming. Mute yourself. I don't want any noise. Optical activity. The property of substance. It is the property of a substance to rotate the plane of polarized light. Yesterday we had discussed. Mute yourself. Still noise is coming. One is making noise. 79. Roll number 79. Roll number 79. Mute yourself. Okay. So we were discussing about optical activity, the property of a substance to rotate the plane polarized light. Plane polarized light is called as optical activity. This phenomena is known as optical activity. A substance or any molecule which is able to rotate the plane polarized light is called as, this phenomena is known as optical activity. Okay. This is also known as optical isomerism. Optical isomerism. Roll number 79. Mute yourself. With chiral compounds, the plane of polarized light is rotated through an angle alpha. Through an angle alpha. With chiral compounds, the plane of polarized light is rotated through an angle alpha. Through an angle alpha. With chiral compounds, the plane of polarized light is rotated through an angle alpha. The angle alpha is measured in degrees and is called the observed rotation. Observed rotation. The angle alpha is measured in degrees and is called the observed rotation. The rotation of plane polarized light can be clockwise or anti-clockwise. It may be clockwise or it may be anti-clockwise. See, this is the polarimeter, a simple polarimeter. We have used a ray diagram. This is the ray diagram of a polarimeter. Okay, the polarimeter is used to measure the optical activity of a compound, of any compound or any substance. It is used to measure the optical rotation of molecules in solution. It is used to measure the optical rotation of molecules in solution. You can see here, there is a sodium lamp, light source used as a light source, sodium lamp used as a light source. And this is the light source, light traveling in all the directions. In all the directions. Okay. It is not monochromatic till now. But now we have a polarizer which polarizes the light. Which polarizes the light coming. And this one is the plane polarized light. This one. This one is the plane polarized light. It is entering in the polarimeter tube. It enters in the polarimeter tube. What is a polarimeter tube? The polarimeter tube contains an optically active substance. It contains an optically active substance such as an amino acid or any substance, any molecule in a solution. It is kept in a solution which causes the plane of polarized light to rotate. Which causes the plane of polarized light to rotate. See, this plane polarized light, it enters this polarimeter tube, and now it is getting rotated. See this one, it is getting rotated. Okay. The length of the polarimeter tube is 10 centimeter long, 1 decimeter or 10 centimeter. Same, 1 decimeter or 10 centimeter, same unit. Okay. Now you see they just coming out this plane polarized light which is rotated. Notice that the plane of the vibrating light has changed after going through the polarimeter tube. It has changed. It has been rotated. It has changed, isn't it? This is the observer, and this is the analyzer, and this is the detector. Observer, detector. Who is making noise? This is the analyzer. This is the analyzer, and this is the detector. So what is the use of an analyzer? A rotatable means it can be rotated. The analyzer can be rotated. A rotatable polarizer. This lens is rotated until no light goes through the second lens. The angle is then measured. The angle is then measured to determine the optical rotation of any compound, not only amino acid, of any compound or of any substance. So what does this analyzer do? It is a rotatable, means it can be rotated. And polarizer. This lens is rotated until no light goes through the second lens. Until no light goes through the second lens. Okay. The angle is then measured. This angle is measured to determine the optical rotation of the substance. Optical rotation of any substance. So this is the working of the polarimeter. This is the working of the polarimeter. Okay. This one again will show a simple polarimeter, sodium lamp. This is polarizer. This is plane polarized light. This is the sample cell tube, polarimeter tube. The light passes through this tube, and if the substance is optically active, it rotates the plane polarized light. Plane is rotated. Then using this analyzer, the observed rotation is observed. Okay, whether it is levorotatory or dextrorotatory, wherever, then it is recorded. Understood? So the angle of rotation alpha is the angle by which the analyzer is rotated to get maximum intensity of light. It depends upon angle of rotation. Is the angle by which the analyzer is rotated to get maximum intensity of light. It depends upon the nature of the substance, concentration of the solution in gram per ml, concentration of the solution in gram per ml. Length of the polarimeter tube, it is 1 decimeter, as we have discussed. Length of the polarimeter tube, it is 1 decimeter or 10 centimeter. Wavelength of the incident monochromatic light, it is normally 598 nanometer. Wavelength of the incident monochromatic light. Wavelength of the incident 598 598 nanometer. That is why we use sodium lamp. Okay. Temperature of the sample. So these are the factors on which this angle of rotation depends. Now again, this, what is the definition of this specific rotation or alpha? Specific rotation or alpha. It is defined as the number of degree of rotation caused by a solution of 1 gram of compound per ml, 1 gram of compound per ml of the solution taken in a polarimeter tube, taken in a polarimeter tube 1 decimeter long at a specific temperature and wavelength. At a specific temperature and wavelength. The specific rotation is calculated from observed angle of rotation alpha as below. So what is a specific rotation alpha? It is equal to alpha, the specific rotation, divided by C into L. C into L. C is the concentration, L is the length of the tube. C is the concentration of the solution, L is the length of the tube, and alpha is the observed rotation, specific rotation. Alpha is the observed. Specific rotation is equal to observed rotation divided by C into L. C is the concentration and L is the path length or the length of the tube. Did you understand this? This is all about optical activity. It is also important as exam point of view. Hello? Hello?
Hello, sir.
Am I audible to you? Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
If there's something is coming on the screen, your microphone is changed or something. So now, did you understand this optical activity? Did you understand this optical activity? Now we'll move to symmetry elements or elements of symmetry. Okay. New topic is elements of symmetry. Our new topic is what are elements of symmetry? Optically inactive compounds, achiral shows 3 types of symmetry. Achiral compounds, they show 3 types of symmetry. First, imaginary plane. Why this is coming? Arna? Default microphone has changed to every time it is coming. Okay. First one is plane of symmetry. The second one is center of symmetry. It is an imaginary point. First one is plane of symmetry, imaginary plane. The second one is center of symmetry. It is an imaginary point. And the third one is axis of symmetry. In axis of symmetry, we have two categories. It is an imaginary axis. In this, we have n-fold simple axis of symmetry. It is n-fold simple axis. The other one is n-fold alternating axis of symmetry. N-fold alternating axis of symmetry. So we have four. Actually, we have four elements of symmetry. We are going to do four elements of symmetry. First one, plane of symmetry. The second one, center of symmetry. The third one, n-fold axis of symmetry. And alternating axis of symmetry. The third one, n-fold simple axis of symmetry. And the fourth one, n-fold alternating axis of symmetry. Okay. So plane of symmetry. It is imaginary plane. It is imaginary plane which divides the molecule into two that one part is the mirror image of the other in such a way that one part is the mirror image of the other in such a way that one part is the mirror image of the other. It is an imaginary plane. It is an imaginary plane which divides the molecule into two equal parts in such a way that one part is the mirror image of the other part. Such a compound is said to have plane of symmetry. Such a compound is said to have a plane of symmetry, and it is optically inactive. And it is optically inactive. It means it is an achiral compound. It is an achiral compound. It is an achiral compound. For example, we see here 2-chloropropane. This is a molecule of 2-chloropropane. Has a plane of symmetry while 2-chlorobutane does not have. 2-chlorobutane does not have. This is 2-chlorobutane. This is 2-chloropropane. A plane of symmetry is a mirror plane that cuts a molecule in half so that one half of the molecule is a reflection of the other half. See this? If we cut through this molecule through this imaginary plane, this half is the mirror image of this half. This half will be the mirror image of the other half. Similarly, in 2-chlorobutane, if we cut through this plane, this half is not the mirror image of this half. This half is not the mirror image of this half. So it is a chiral compound. So this one is a chiral compound. It does not have a plane of symmetry. While this molecule, it is a chiral compound, 2-chloropropane, and it does have a plane of symmetry because it can be divided into two halves such that one half is the mirror image of the other half. Understood? So this is plane of symmetry. Now, center of symmetry, the second one. Center of symmetry. The second one, the center of symmetry. It is an imaginary point. It is an imaginary point in the center of the molecule. In the center of any molecule, understood, in the center of the molecule, such that straight lines are drawn through this point. Straight lines, see this, straight lines. Straight lines are drawn through this point, meet identical atoms or group of atoms. Identical atoms, see this, they are meeting identical atoms, only hydrogen. Identical atoms or group of atoms at the same distance from the center. At the same distance from the center. This distance from this point, the distance, this distance and distance is same. So the same distance from the center. Such a compound is said to have center of symmetry and it is optically inactive. Achiral compound. It is optically inactive. Achiral compound. For example, ethane have a center of symmetry while ethane, this molecule is ethane. See, CH3, CH, C2H6, CH3, CH3, and it has a center of symmetry. And from this center, if we draw a straight line, these two hydrogen atoms, it meets these two hydrogen atoms, this line, and this line also it meets hydrogen atoms. This third, this half is same, this half and this half. So it has a center of symmetry. If we talk about this molecule, trans 1,2-dichloroethene, trans 1,2-dichloroethene not have a center. Does not have a center of symmetry. Does not have a center of symmetry. Now, the other one, axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry, n-fold simple axis of symmetry and n-fold alternating axis of symmetry. First one, fold. The other one is n-fold alternating axis of symmetry. N-fold alternating axis of symmetry. The first one, participants. Okay, n-fold simple axis of symmetry. It is imaginary axis. It is an axis, imaginary axis passing through the molecule such that when molecule is rotated about its axis, the molecule, suppose this is an axis, and if it is rotated about this axis, then the same arrangement is repeated more than once in one complete rotation. In one complete rotation. So what is imaginary axis? I mean, what is n-fold simple axis of symmetry? It is an imaginary axis passing through the molecule such that when molecule is rotated about its axis, then same arrangement is repeated more than once in one complete rotation, such as 360 degrees. This rotation is indistinguishable from the original one. This rotation is indistinguishable from the original one. So this rotation is indistinguishable from the original one. We'll see the example. See here. N-fold simple axis of symmetry. See. In E, this is E. Alternate. Trans E. 1,2-dichloroethane. This is 1,2-dichloroethane. Has a simple axis of symmetry that passes through the midpoint of the molecule. And is perpendicular to the plane of the molecule. Now, if we rotate it, if it is rotated, see two-fold axis. If it is rotated 180 degree, if it is rotated 180 degree, see 90 degree and then 180 degree. The same molecule which is indistinguishable from the original one we get. We are getting the same molecule. So it has a two-fold axis of symmetry. Two-fold simple axis of symmetry. So the molecule has two-fold axis of symmetry. See this molecule. If this molecule is rotated through this axis by 180 degree, if we rotate this molecule by 180 degree, so we get the same molecule. We get the same molecule. So this molecule has a two-fold axis of symmetry. Rotation through 360 by 2, 180 degree. So this molecule has been rotated through 180 degree about the axis, leads to an arrangement identical to the original one. So this arrangement is identical to the original one. This arrangement after rotation is identical to the original one, isn't it? So this molecule has two-fold axis of symmetry. Therefore, it possesses two-fold axis of symmetry. Understood? Now, one more example. Methyl chloride. See this methyl chloride, carbon, chlorine atom, and three hydrogen atoms. Okay. Methyl chloride has an axis. This axis passing through its midpoint. Passing through this its midpoint, about which a 360 degree divided by 3, 120 degree. If this molecule is rotated 120 degree, produces an orientation identical to the original one. First 120 60 degree, then again 60 degree. So 2 times 60 degree if it is rotated. Okay, total 120 degree. So we get a same or identical molecule, which is indistinguishable from the original one. So it has three-fold axis of symmetry. It has three-fold axis of symmetry. This molecule, methyl chloride, has three-fold axis of symmetry. Three-fold axis of symmetry. Now, the last one. N-fold alternating axis of symmetry. N-fold alternating axis of symmetry. First, we'll discuss about its definition. A molecule is said to have n-fold alternating axis of symmetry if a molecule is rotated about an axis passing through the molecule through theta or alpha degrees, through any degree, okay, passing through the molecule, and the rotated molecule is reflected in mirror. After rotation, the molecule is reflected through the mirror such as perpendicular to the axis, then same arrangement or reflected image is identical. Reflected image after rotation, the reflected image is identical with the original structure. Suppose originally object A or alphabet A is rotated through any degree. After rotation, its image is reflected. If its image is identical to the original one, then A will be known as having n-fold alternating axis of symmetry. Understood? We'll take example. For example, 1,3-dichloro 2,4-difluoro cyclobutane. when it is rotated through 180 degree about the axis passing through the center of the molecule and then reflected in a mirror perpendicular to the axis, an arrangement superimposable on the original is obtained. Say this one. And thus it will have two-fold alternating axis of symmetry. This example is 1,3-dichloro, 1,3-dichloro, 2,4-difluoro cyclobutane. This is cyclobutane. 2,4-difluoro, 1,3-dichloro, and 2,4-difluoro cyclobutane. This is rotated by 180 degree through this axis. Through this is the original molecule. It is being rotated through this axis, okay, and it is rotated by 180 degree. This is the rotated molecule. After rotating it by 180 degree, we are getting this molecule, and this is the mirror, and this is the reflected image of this rotated molecule. This is the reflected image of this rotated molecule. See, this one. This is the rotated molecule, and this one is the reflected image of this rotated molecule. Now see this one, these two are identical arrangement, or same. These two are identical. So this molecule is known to have n-fold alternating axis of symmetry. So it has two-fold. Actually, it has two-fold alternating axis of symmetry. This molecule has two-fold alternating axis of symmetry. Two-fold alternating axis of symmetry. Understood? Two-fold alternating axis of symmetry. Okay, we have completed these two topics, optical activity and elements of symmetry. Do you have any question? Hello?